love the new mic upgrade.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
Very nice.
It honestly, in clarity, fucking superior,
Yeah, you're
dude.
crisp.
Yeah,
Oh.
for real.
Yeah, it has like a pop filter and everything, so it's
Hell
really
yeah.
nice.
Hell
It's a,
yeah.
it's a hard crisp too. Not a
It
soft
is,
one,
No,
a
it's
hard one.
satisfying.
If anyone's
Alright.
got like a leveler on their thing, yeah, it's got some good levels.
So, where we last left off, a long time ago, in the before times of last
Hit a
year,
Vas'Kai forward.
we the party had over the span of several sessions traversed after a big recap for those of you who might not remember things, who need a reminder. The party had at one point returned to Bryn'Shander with a newfound ally named Kanit, who helped awaken powers within Ibrin and Ono, and then used that newfound power after being rescued from the Calvin's Cairn to come back to Bryn'Shander. The party did not have a large rest, as that evening, going through bits of the sheriff's office to find clues as to his whereabouts, because Aethros had a vision of sorts of him being kidnapped / taken, but the timeline was off. The party had begun to see, I believe it was Big Tune, had begun to see sigils forming on the surface of the outside of the buildings of Bryn'Shander, and the party began to investigate and saw that something weird was going on. Cue the party finding the hole that was blown by the building where you fought Sevik Caltro, cold storage, like right behind cold storage, and entering the caverns below Bryn'Shander to try and find the source of this series of sigils and the barrier that had been formed over the city itself. The party traveled through the catacombs of Bryn'Shander for what felt like a long period of time, found the source, slew the source to their knowledge, and continued through the Underdark as their previous exit had been destroyed. Cue a large traversal through the Underdark, meeting a couple of gnomes who were escaping Mienzo Canis, the drow encampment in the spine of the world. You guys joined forces for the time being to find your way out, them being desiring both like gathering supplies and a militia ideally backing to help free the rest of their clan who have been imprisoned for a very long period of time. The party, realizing that they had two choices, go to Mienzo Canis and steal a staff that would be able to teleport them to the surface, or go to Sunblight Fortress, run by Duragar, the Sunblight clan, and using their elevator system or bargaining abilities, make their way to the surface to make their way back to Ten Towns. The party got to Sunblight and was able to infiltrate Sunblight with Ono posing as Master Flint, I believe, and basically saying that you guys came out of Sigil, one of the doors of Sigil, and ended up in the Underdark, and you're just trying to find your way to the surface. Zeradoc, initially going along with things, called the bluff through some way, shape, or form. Cue a giant battle. Cue Zeradoc within 2 rounds fleeing and not being seen again, until you found him dead after your battle. You found new allies within Sunblight Fortress, Lady Grandelfa being one of those allies who was glad that you came, as it gave her the ability to overturn the Sunblight, essentially the regime that was going on, and ideally make it a better place. And in exchange for helping her with that, and seeing that the mechanical dragon had been released out onto Ten Towns, she gave you the option of using something that her clan had kept close to her, a amulet that contained within it the avatar of an elder being who, while there were limited uses of this item, would be able to grant you what you desire, but you had to be careful when talking to it. The party, I believe, discussed this a bit and came to the realization that the only way for them to get to Bryn'Shander in time, after looking at the dragon's flight path, was to use this resource rather than trying to take like sled dogs or axe beaks or just walking from the spine of the world back to a 10-town location. I believe it was Athros and Ono who essentially, for that split second, went into the domain that is this amulet to speak to what has become known as the Child of the Red Sun. Its real name, you do not know at this time. That's just its designation of sorts. You made a bargain with this being, but not without creating a absurdly long contract that, with Ono's skills from, what do you want to call it, from his time with the Thousand Hands traveling merchant group, understanding how to create or avoid loopholes, created a document very well written, and the being, with a lack of fun as the party was there on a mission and was warned ahead of time to, be on your toes, immediately was just like, send us the Bryn'Shander, and then went into the description of what everybody means. The being signed the document and sent all of you, including Tilly, and I believe it's Zabane is the other one who's alive, and anybody who was associated with the group on Sunblight Fortress, to Bryn'Shander, where you met with, once again, Irini and Spit, who had stayed in Bryn'Shander with Kanit to help defend the town. You met with Lady Vas'Kai and the sheriff. You brought him back, and basically we're kind of preparing the town for the arrival of this large mechanical dragon that is heading for Bryn'Shander, and then each of the other 10 towns, ending with Dugan's Hole before flying back to Sunblight Fortress if it succeeds. So you have, after explaining things to Vas'Kai and beginning the implementation of essentially getting the townsfolk ready, the sheriff kind of spreading the guard out to begin putting people on alert. You have about 90 minutes before the dragon will arrive. You've had it left technically from the fortress an hour prior. You had your meal with Lady Grandalfa and the battle with Zeradok and the Duragar that took up the time in the middle there. You all did gain the benefits of a long rest using Grandalfa's meal that she had provided. It is not the same as a hero's feast. You only get the benefits of a long rest, which means if you had any spells you wanted to switch out, you can do that. For those of you who can, I did agree that you could swap your alchemy jug for Gebetto, which I think I gave you actual control over him now. So when we put him on the map, he will, because he has his own initiative order. Does he go on your initiative order?
I believe he acts on my initiative. It's either, just the quickest explanation, I use up my bonus action to make him do something, or he takes the dodge action on his turn.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right then. So, as it is about 1 p.m. or so, roughly, in Bryn'Shander, I guess, is there anything that the party would like to do to get prepared? I know, Ono, you had your plan that you sent me ages ago, and I have a write-up for it now. What I need you to do is, what is your modifier for your Tinker Tools? Is it +2 or +3?
My Tinker Tools modifier is 1d20 plus my normal modifier plus ability check bonus. I think it's 3.
Okay. I want you to make a Tinker Tool check for me. Just regular d20, and then I'll let you know what to do afterward.
Tinker Tools check. Straight up d20.
We're like properly rested, correct? Like as far as that long rest goes for the meal.
Correct. You gained all of your benefits of a long rest. So for you, if you gain any of
No.
your sorry.
No, sorry. I just meant specifically we all actually took it, right? Because I'm missing hit dice, but I don't remember if that was just because I got 2 back when I took the long rest, or if I didn't take a long rest.
So I
Should
believe
have
you.
everything back.
Yeah, you get up to half of your hit dice back per long rest, rounded down.
No, No, I mean, I knew that. I just wasn't sure if we actually got, like, you know what I mean? Like, if we actually all went through and said, okay, hey, we're eating this meal. Let's all take our long, the equivalent of our long rest. I
Right.
just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure I was indeed missing those
Yep.
hit dice properly.
Because you, when you were in the fortress, you fought a simulacrum of Headrune, and you used your
Oh,
hit dice
yeah.
on your fancy
Okay.
boon that you have.
Yeah.
And I believe you burnt through all of your
Alright.
hit dice doing that.
I did.
50,
I do remember
55 days ago and 22 hours, Big Toon Strong Shield took a long rest.
Okay, cool. I want to make sure we're all like above table ready, not necessarily game.
Right. All right. Oh no, I want you to roll. So you rolled high enough there. It's going to be 1d6 plus 3.
1d6 plus 3.
Yes.
Here I go again with trying to remember how to work Forge against like slash roll. Damn it.
Yes. Slash roll.
Oops, not equal 3 plus 3. Oh, womp womp.
In the time frame that it's going to take for you to you know, I know what your mission is. You send out your notes, and you have they have an escort, like someone carried physically on horseback. Like they have messengers that go between the villages. They will be sending out your notes to at least the ones that are directly associated with Bryn'Shander, which would be Targos, Termalaine, East Haven, and one more probably to Goodmead, as it'd be the next closest town. The Tinker Tool check, the 4, that is, you make a total of 5 of the grapples that you were hoping to make with the potato cannon and the, what you discussed. So your access to the tools is one of those things where they do have the supplies, but building these items takes a little bit more time than what you would have liked. So by the time you're ready for combat, you'll have completed your 5th one. I'm gonna add those. Do you want them directly added to you, or do you want to disperse them among people? I guess.
Yeah,
that's my
I
question.
want them dispersed amongst. Well, okay, so
I'm gonna add one to your character sheet just so you have it.
okay, well, yeah, because one is modular for me to use and run around with, while the other 4, I'm so glad it's 4, are actually implanted in the ground. So yeah, that's what so Ono's running around and I'm like, anyone who has the ability to do heat metal and the ability to use any kind of ice magic, and we're gonna melt them into the surface. And I purposely clear all the ground so it's hard, compacted, iced over earth, that we are embedding these in the ground so that when they explode and then actually catch, they're not going anywhere.
Okay. And it's essentially you're looking for a range of wire of 150 to 300 feet. Did I hear you right on that one? Or what is your, I guess
ideally the most wire possible. Let me roll back to the notes because we had a message in chat. Sorry.
Yeah, so it's one item that fires, and then I guess I'm just trying to figure out the mechanic behind it because I misinterpreted it. I thought you were
Cool. No, you're good. Okay. So it is essentially like a potato cannon too. Sorry, guys. I came up with some wild shit over the weekend. So I lay out a design on paperwork. It's essentially like a tubular-like, potato-like gun cannon that is going to fire a harpoon-like rod, but instead of it being like a heavy-weighted harpoon, aggressive, it is like their biggest, most elaborate hooks to catch the fish in this region. So they're in wire wrapped, soldered, extra strength, and all quick stuff that they probably already have, like shit like that, or harpoons that we could quick meld. But anyways, the tube itself gets embedded in the ground, and the base of it is barbed, so it gets locked into the ground. And then I'm doing like that video I sent you, like essentially like a chemical suffusion of like magic, and just it's not going anywhere. As soon as we plant these suckers, the 4 in the ground, and I'm staggering them in like a fashion that if the back one catches or the front one catches, either or, we're good. But as long as the middle 2 do something, we're fine. And like it's staggered across like a road, that's like wide enough in the building that the dragon is obviously, it's like the clearest path of destruction for the dragon. That's my ideal like what would be the center of town, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, they're ideally like an elephant gun tubular cannon, heat metalled, magically suffused into the ground, ice magicked, hot, cold, locked into the earth. So that way, yeah, I know it's a dragon. I know it's probably going to rip them out or going to do its best. But if I can slow it down for at least 30 seconds.
Okay,
that's
so
a win.
So basically your spikes are in the ground, and then you're firing from that base into the dragon, not into objects on the other side to try and... Okay.
Again, the way the hooks are made, if it pierces, cool. But ideally, as long as it catches some facet of the dragon, like if it overshoots and the dragon runs it to pull, and it catches what would be a mechanical scale or some subsection of its like modular, neck piece or whatever, it's stopping. And Ono is trying to explain it to all the blacksmiths and fishermen, like, I know this is really weird, this is gonna be really ridiculous, but it's the best chance we got.
And they just like stare at you in this like rather confused fashion, like seeing the equipment that like they use often mixed with things that they're not quite familiar with. They're just like, like nodding, and then like looking at each other, and then like looking back to like, yeah, oh, okay.
Like quick prestidigitation, like a simple image in front of the already thing that I've drawn magically with my quill, and I'm like, just like, you take this piece, and we're gonna, put it together here, and then you guys you have to have wire, and like all the wire and rope that we're using, it's like the rope has braided wire in it because they got to be pulling like fucking 100+ pound fish. These huge,
yeah, knucklehead trout are huge.
Knucklehead trout are huge, so they have to have, in my head canon, and the way you've described it is like they have like the ability to yank these suckers out of the water. Why wouldn't these guys on hand have this ready and be like, how hard would it be to take an hour to convert this equipment to pull a dragon out of the sky?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Okay, I get it now.
We can do this.
I did not get it originally.
we can do this. I believe in us. You are all very smart townspeople. I have nothing but utmost faith in both my family and the people of this village.
The sheriff would come up to the party at some point as the preparations are being made, and he would I think he'd approach Ono probably because it was discussed last time. You made talk about wanting us to use the ballistas that we have mounted on the side of the walls. I got 4 of them that are still usable currently. We're working on a 5th one right now. But it's gonna... they're a bit slow to load, but they'll be a resource that could probably hit most sections of town. I can't say that all of them will be ready at any given time, but for sure, they'll be ready shortly after each other. So there'll be an extra support for shooting things out of the sky, I suppose.
And honestly, if it's one of those situations where, they can pop off one and they are about to get destroyed, they can ditch the tower and run. I don't want more people to die. There's no need for any other casualties, despite I like smilingly look over at Athros. I'm like, despite how much medical attention our on-site doctor has, let's if we can get one and done, good. Let's save as many people as possible.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. I guess this, other than, oh no, does anybody else have anything they want to do to prepare?
I'm gonna have a nice, ice cold brewski.
Yeah, let's get drunk before this fight. Let's do it.
I guess while you guys are having drinks, I'm at the table, dropping the alchemy drug and getting Gebetto locked and loaded.
Oh, yeah, I gotta add
I
one.
would see if there's a studded leather armor available, just to get a slight boost in AC.
Okay. There would be. You would be able to swap that out. They would like go and grab a set. If you asked like one of the guards, they'd grab you an extra set from the barracks.
Cool.
Do they happen to have a set of full plate armor as well, just lying around?
Yeah, or two.
You know, just curious.
Where am I? Let me hold on. I gotta look.
I'm not
at
totally
my-
gonna just randomly check and see that.
You're at okay. I think per my infusions, because what I currently have is Gebetto, and I dropped the repeater to make your shield a +1, I think, dude.
Oh yeah, my AC is really high.
He's just
you know,
looking to amp it even more.
like the last.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, absolute respect.
Like Aethros, he's him getting armor and it's like, yeah, I want them too. Still left out.
You see one of the guards. They
He
look
brings
at
something
you.
I
They look
don't.
at Athros. Not Athros. Ebrin. They look at, and they look back at you. They see like the armor that you're wearing already. Like, I don't know if I'd feel so good. Pardon with that. That's usually reserved for the sheriff.
Okay, fine. It's not like I saved his life anyways.
Here's got some.
Not being able to sense your sarcasm, they just nod and go along with what you said. Oh, so you weren't part of the party that rescued him? I thought you came back
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah.
Sure did.
We
Kind of the point.
Uh-huh.
No worries, I guess.
we were ancillary in the fact that he's still living. So yes.
Except for the part where actually did save his life.
I mean that's
For
not
real, though.
untrue.
Yeah, like literally.
While he's handing me this studded leather armor to equip it to my individual, I take it's just a standard studded. I don't know, 1, 2, or 3.
It's a standard studded.
Cool.
+3.
Hey, you never know. Roll a
Resist
D100. 100 to get a
Dragon's Bane
+3.
armor.
Rolls 100. What the hell?
I lied about the roll. Let's see. At some point, as the party's like making their preparations, it'd probably be pretty early on. Kenit would approach a couple members of the party, and just ask, "Did you happen in your travels to find You made mention possibly of finding a basilisk's fang. Is that correct?"
It sure did. I pull mine out.
He like looks in yours. I believe you grabbed specifically a rather large one, if I'm not
He
mistaken.
grabbed
Yeah.
literally the biggest one. He's like, I want to grab the biggest one were the words that came out of his mouth.
Sure were. I keep trophies of everything that we kill.
Well, I know it's not always a priority, but it might be good to have an extra ally on the battlefield. Your companion, the one who's encased in ice right now. I have the Void Blossom that I've acquired in my time here. All I'm missing is the Basilisk's Fang to undo the petrification. If that's something you're interested in parting with, or if you know of one of your allies maybe having another one I could use for this purpose.
That's extremely ironic because that's exactly what I was going to suggest next. Do we want to bring her back, or do we want to keep her petrified till after the fight when we can question her about her third sister she neglected to inform us on?
Does it have to be the fang? Because I have a gland. I have a perfectly prepared and preserved gland.
I have a tooth he can have.
Generally
word.
speaking, what we do as part of the serum is the fang is ground down into a powder and mixed with a few other ingredients besides the void blossom in itself that I have on person. So it's not the gland in this instance, it is the fang that I do need.
I look at
All
both
right.
Ebert and Big Tune. I'm like, if we got rid of her out of the bag of holding, I could put all of the automatons in there, and we wouldn't have to worry about everybody carrying that around.
All
Right.
right. Who am I talking to?
But
It would be
to
four.
my, I was going to say to my
What's that?
previous question though, do we want to keep her petrified till after the battle and question her about her third
No.
sister?
I honestly think we need about as much help as we can get in this fight.
What? Hold on. Also, are we also not? Is she a flight risk at this point?
Also,
That's where I was going to also bring up as well.
Because
You're worried
It's been
about
a-
her leaving once she is awoken, given the circumstances.
I mean, circumstantially,
I mean,
hey, we
I think-
unfroze you. Hey, I'm sorry, Big Tune, but it's like, hey, we unfroze you. BT Dubs, we're about to fight a dragon. You need to help real quick. Don't run away.
And on top
Well-
of it, we know about your third sister. You haven't told us involved.
I
Well-
wouldn't
this.
slap that in her face. Sorry, Kitty.
well,
Sorry.
much like what Ebron originally did to this poor girl, woman, thing, person,
Girl.
whatever, this being, unfreeze her and say, listen, we're about to kill this dragon. We are not afraid to kill you too. So don't run. And
We're just gonna lean real hard into the forceful.
Yeah.
Just
I'm not
saying, I mean,
with that.
we could even just say, you don't have to help, just don't run. I think we're gonna need.
personally think getting her unfrozen afterwards would be more beneficial. But that's my vote.
I mean, she's.
If
she's
you guys
helped us
want her
before.
now,
I think
that's
she might be
fine.
one to help us. Yeah, I mean, I'll go with whatever the group decides. At the end of the day, we can do this democratically, but
I mean, mechanically wise, above table. Mechanically wise, the idea of it, yes, is good, but it would be Dakota, you running another NPC because I don't believe you're going to give us access to her sheet to operate her. So it would be another NPC for him to have to operate with, unless he has a mechanic or a story reason to do it, and he's staying silent for said reason, which is hilarious, and I love it. But
No, I just want to know what
It-
people are doing. That's all. I'm staying
legit,
silent for.
yeah, it
You
was a
guys are
great
talking.
answer. It's a clean answer. But that's my thought is if we do have another player on the field, it is another NPC player that is going to be an initiative that we have to also try to see if we can assuage Mr. God over here to be like, hey, can we have him move over here? Can we have her shoot this person? Kind of deal.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, but at the same time, I mean, it would also be helpful. You know, it's a double-edged sword. It's like,
It
yeah,
is.
it's going to take longer for her because she might help.
I love the idea. Period. Point blank.
Let's-
Period. I do love it. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
having just thinking about it like just in fun story wise, whether or not she's flight risk or helps us, or this is
Okay.
just full blown wild, or the dragon straight up bites her head off. I don't know. But I think it's a fun. Yeah. So my vote is
Okay.
yes.
I say, how about let's get a final vote here, and if we're tied, we can flip a coin.
So yeah, I say yay.
Yeah, I say yay as well. I know it's on freezer.
I say yes, as long as we don't threaten her right away.
That's fair.
Sure. Yeah, I mean that's only if she's like, looking like she's gonna take off.
Right.
Let her run if she wants.
I mean, I feel like, look, your best chance is like if you can outrun a dragon, boo, all for it. But you're better
Right,
off
yeah.
with us.
Exactly.
But I don't think that's the play off the cuff. It's just like, hey, we need you. Please help us. Don't run. We're about to fight a dragon. We can talk afterward, kind of deal.
Yeah. You scratch our backs, we'll help scratch yours, I guess? Question
Right.
mark. We already scratched your back by unfreezing you, but that's beside the point.
Miras, Ebron, your votes. Sorry, Irini, my bad. Spit, you too. Everybody gets a vote.
I say let's unfreeze her right now.
Let's
At that point, I've already handed the basilisk tooth to Kincaid.
No,
We
it's my
unfreeze her
fang.
and refreeze her right away.
I mean,
I don't believe your tooth is good enough unless you have a fang as well.
I don't have.
I have a
Okay.
basilisk. I just rolled basilisk tooth. It's most
I mean,
likely a
okay.
fang,
At that
but
point, I have basilisk of the petrification gland. I guess we could make a.
remember
like-
he needs a tooth or fang to grind it into powder, though, not the gland.
No, I know, but if we're
No, I
freezing
think-
her up afterwards, like it's like, hey, we're taking you out of the freezer, but we're really gonna put you back afterwards. I mean, I guess I could twist a remedy back into a poison, but that's like, it's time that I don't think we have right now.
Spit would be in agreement to unfreeze Matra, and I think Irini would probably as well. But hearing Athros say, or like, just like let's not threaten her right away, she'd be kind of confused, and then remember what happened previously. I'm like, oh, yeah, probably a good idea.
Yeah, see, we know. I put the bag of holding down and I start digging in the
Okay.
bag of holding. I like stick half of my body in there to try to like pull out this huge brick.
So who is making this for us? Who is the work ethic to? Kincaid?
Yeah,
Kanit, as he has the remainder of the ingredients needed to produce a anti-petrification serum. He just needed the fang as a missing ingredient. So if you give that to him, he would take that and begin making the remedy during the time period that we have here.
Do you have access? I mean, I'm assuming you have. Obviously, it's at least some form of access to his character sheet, right? Obviously, he has stats. Does he have stats?
Move your foot, Athros. Move your foot. I can't pull her out of the bag.
Yes.
Yeah, he has a stat block.
May I request? Well, above table, but then also in game. I'll tell you, Kincaid, you can have this. However, I'm going to need the most epic high five that you can handle. Like to roll a double performance check to see how we do.
Do you want it with my... He looks at his hands because he has one normal hand and one mechanical arm. Does it matter which one I use?
Whichever one you think will be cooler.
I sit up from like pulling this ice block out of the bag. I'm like, you know what hand you have to use.
Yeah, okay. It's an odd request, but it is one that is easily done.
I sit on half of the pulled out ice block.
All right, you said performance.
You want straight up, or what do you want? How do you want to do this?
I mean, if we're trying to make it this, I guess. Okay, now we're getting into the nitty gritty of the mechanics of a high five, and
Right.
I guess you're trying to make it an amazing high five. Is this one of those things where we are trying to coordinate the high five, or you're both just going at it hoping that it what does Big Toon envision with this?
I mean, I figured typically when you want to go for like the best high five or dap up, it's either going to be natural like chemistry between the two people, which I don't feel like we have, or it's going to be like okay, we got to make sure we know where we're at, because I'm assuming the two of us are considerably different heights.
Yeah, you're pretty you're very similar in height.
In fact, it's probably not even gonna. Oh, are we? Okay.
Yeah.
That's even better then.
He's a tall boy.
All right. Well, then never mind. I was gonna say I hope I don't have to do like a side 5 with him. You know, like a.
I'm standing. Well, I'm sitting right here.
Well, like I just wanted to make sure I didn't have to like lower my hand to a not high 5 position, because then it'd be like a medium 5, and then like it's not a high 5, and then it won't be the most. I just trail off.
I'm gonna say,
I got a high 4.5.
we're gonna do. You said it'll be contested performance checks to get a good average, but you're gonna have, because the two of you will have a little bit of coordination to make it as epic as possible. Add an additional +5 to your roll.
I give guidance to Big Tune.
Oh, okay. D4 5. Alrighty. Let's see how this goes.
Oh no.
Right middle of the road.
So you had a vision for this high 5 of what in my mind Big Tune's vision is the two of them colliding in this like epic feat of strength that like makes your hand feel a little bit numb, and it's just like the most satisfying bro moment. But what ends up happening is you're so focused on this dream, this feeling of yours, that Kneat feels pretty good. He meets you in the middle, but you what you end up doing is you end up clipping the bottom of like where his palm is on his mechanical hand, and it still radiates and it still hurts, but not in the way you were hoping it would hurt. And you kind of have to like adjust yourself as you're like doing the follow through from the high 5 to not look as if you just like smacked your hand into like, you know, like a wall or something. And the two of you look at each other and are just like was this what I wanted? Was this what he wanted? Like, Kneat's giving you like this look, hoping for approval.
So yeah, in order to determine whether or not I approve, I'm going to I think the best roll I could make would be a wisdom check to see if I believe that was an epic or not.
Yeah, go for it. It'd be a straight wisdom check.
And I'm so like hoping for it that I'm really just like I feel like it's one of those things where it's like you're just trying to will it into existence. So
yeah, you're trying to manifest it.
Yeah, no, I think it's great.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Nothing wrong with it.
Truly. In your mind, it was a spectacle to behold.
Yep.
And,
while that's going on, I'd walk over to the sheriff. And, I have 2 heavy crossbows. Do you have any guards that have need for them?
Yeah. A couple of our guys probably could use some, those who are patrolling to help get the townsfolk ready. And he would like call for one of his like attendants to like come and kind of signal that you have 2 crossbows or heavy crossbows you're looking to depart with, and he would kind of give like names for like a couple of the guards who would probably get the most use out of them, and that attendant would just like stand there like I'll take them. Do you want them back afterward, or do you want them gone permanently? We could probably scrounge up some monetary payment after this whole thing is done, I suppose.
Let's talk afterwards, but otherwise just take them for now for more firepower. Is Duvessa still around as well?
Yeah, she's kind of like her and the sheriff are in rather close proximity. He seems to be like kind of like the right hand to her right now. As she's like looking through a couple of documents that she's had up in her office, she's like frantically looking to see if there's anything here that she has, and she kind of like throws this like pamphlet of like things just like down on the stairs to the town hall. She's like, it's useless. We haven't had anything like this previously. Orcs are one thing, but the mechanical dragon, that's something else entirely.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun. And there's 2 things I could do. Do you have any healers of the group? Obviously, we have Athros. I have 2 diamonds available. If anybody in our party goes down, do you have anybody that could use this diamond to bring them back in town?
Well, the person who would most likely be able to use that would be that'd be Mishan, the woman who runs the House of the Morning Lord. She's kind of our town's big healer. She's the one who's been taking care of people from the aftermath of, well, the ritual that happened a few days ago. If you have the, you're willing to, just in case, have us hold on to this for you. I'm sure I can get it to her hand. I just hope that she's, ready for this situation. There's a lot of people who need aid at the House of the Morning Lord now. I don't know if she'll be able to...
Athros just gave you guys 30 small potions. So hopefully that does something.
And that it'll be a great help to getting our townsfolk ready to go, or at least up and moving as best they can. There's certain elements that even a healing potion doesn't always get to help with. Certain things tied directly to the ritual that happened here that have a bit of a deeper calling that need to be removed. It's hard to explain, but
Onions.
I'm sure she'd be able to help if needed. I can go or send someone to go and get her.
Right. We could discuss that as a whole party before the mechanical guy gets here. The other thing I can offer, and it might not be of too big of use, we really don't know which direction this dragon's going to come from. I can pretty much telepathically communicate with anybody within a mile radius of town. So if we do think it's beneficial at all to link minds to discuss, hey, they're at the east gate, hey, it's at the west gate, I could offer that if you guys find that beneficial at all.
I mean, the more coordination that happens, the better. But do you feel it would be beneficial for, let's say, you to link to my town guard versus members of your traveling group? I believe you call yourselves the Broken. Broken. Yes. And she tries to pronounce it with the Gnomish dialect, but she struggles really hard. Honestly, if Ono heard it, he'd probably be slightly disgusted. They would probably be slightly disgusted.
Look, and effort is noted. Effort's noted.
It's like meowing back at your cat in 14 grammatical errors.
Yeah, I mean, I can do it with members of the guard. Obviously, you two. I can do it with the healer at the Morning Lord. I can. I'm trying to remember how many people I can actually link with. I think it's myself and 2 others per die. Does that sound right?
That sounds right. I'm just gonna verify that. Proficiency bonus, so you can link to number of creatures. As an action, you can choose one or more creatures up to a number of creatures equal to your proficiency bonus. So you actually can link to... Oh, you can link to 3 people now. Because you're level 5.
3 per die?
Yeah. So it'd be you and 3 others.
So I can link with 3 people in groups of 3. There is a off chance I might be able to make it one giant communicative process. I'm going to be honest, I've never done it before. I have no clue if there's going to be any rebound effects or anything like that, but it could offer better communication between everybody else. So if you do have 1 or 2 people or if you got a group of 3 at the east gate, north gate, south gate, you two, and a handful of other people. I could telepathically link with 18 people.
Damn, you got 6 uses of that?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Okay. That's awesome.
You're like fucking. What are you doing? Some like Eno crap over here, and you're like, we're gonna have to put like a metal helmet and stuff.
I mean,
Maybe we can do like 12 people. Give me a little bit of a break, but 3 at each gate and 3 MVPs essentially.
ultimately, I leave that decision up to you. It's not my place to tell one of my non-townsfolk residents here what to do with the powers that they have. If you decide that you would like to link to our guard, I'm sure they would appreciate being able to communicate with each other across the span of the town. But I'm not going to tell you one way or the other. That is a decision that only you can make. You and your friends. And she says she's like the broken. And she tries to once again, she's scrounging to try and figure out the grammatical fix.
I know I'm probably like feet away. I'm cringing out of nowhere. I'm like explaining something to someone and I shudder and I'm like, I am not cold. What is going on?
But I leave that up to you. That's entirely your call. If I had to guess, just based off of what you said and the direction of Sunblight Fortress and the spine of the world, it'll probably come from the south. But, and she looks off to the south side of the town, and you can see beyond the wall, the walls are a decent distance away, but you can see that there seems to be a large storm brewing, making its way rather quickly to your destination. But what do I know? If this, what looks to be a rather large snowstorm, hits us here, I could say it'd come from the south, but that doesn't mean it actually will.
Right.
Blizzards are a large pain when there's conflict. I can only imagine what this might do. Anyway, that's your decision, that's your call. If you want Mishan to hold on to these diamonds to maybe bring back someone, let me or the sheriff or someone know, and we'll make sure that she is available. Otherwise, she's probably going to continue monitoring the injured people who are within the House of the Morning Lord as best as she can. We've had guards dispersed there. We had a couple extra dispersed there upon hearing of this attack, just to make sure that there's adequate, in case something happens. And she
I'll hand her 1 diamond, but on the off chance that Aethros has something to bring us back, I want ours to at least have 1 because it's the only one we have left. I'll say we probably have a few minutes left. Bring 12 to 15 people you want linked, and I will link with them.
Okay.
But that way, anybody who's arming a ballista, we can coordinate our attacks better, hopefully get some more hits. But as I'm rubbing my forehead, I'll be like, well, hopefully party afterwards.
Right. Party. There's... Never mind. Whatever makes you feel happy. And she just, takes off to, go and, begin gathering some people for you to link to. I will say that after a few minutes, I'd say probably about 10 minutes total, you'd have probably a total of, I would say, 12 individuals who kind of came from different areas of Bryn'Shander, the local guard, just 3 from each of the quadrants that you could link to. I would say if you wanted to make it one giant phone call, quote unquote, right off the bat, roll for me a Arcana check. That way you don't have to roll durations. We could just make it go that way. All right, yeah. So you'd be able to link everybody together in essentially one giant chat room. So
Cool.
And upon getting this newfound newfound power they didn't have in their head before, immediately they just kind of go into this chatter, be like, "Whoa, this is so cool! I can talk to you in my head." And they're like, "Just don't annoy me. I got a lot of shit to do." And they just begin bickering, and then
Man, I hope Mom makes beans when we get home.
yeah, just random shit like that. And then the guards themselves would be like, "We got a job to do. Let's go get it done for Bryn'Shander." And you hear them all together, it's like trying to sync your emotes together in a game, but it's all off. So it's just for Bryn'Shander 12 different times, and they would disperse back to their locations across the different areas of the wall.
It's active for 3 hours.
Okay.
Jeez, if we do this battle relatively decent for an additional 2 hours, these people are gonna be just talking in their heads.
Yeah, no kidding, honestly. All right.
These poor people.
Anybody else need to do anything during this time period?
I'm ready to go.
All right, Geppetto would
Just
be
depends if this
getting ready.
petrification works or not.
So it would take him probably about 20 or so minutes of just filing away the fang into the proportion size required. And he would mix the formula together, throw it in a vial, mix in a liquid that you currently do not know, and with Maetra's statue encased in ice from how she was up on Calvin's cairn, he pours this liquid compared to the powder that he had before onto her form, and you watch as her form changes from that of the solid ice once again to her humanoid elven figure. And she falls to her knees once her legs are free, and just has this humongous gasp of air. Looks, and her vision is white, like what you all went through when you were waking up on Calvin's cairn. She's just I can't see. Hello, is there anybody out there?
You're gonna be fine. It's okay. It's us.
You're dead.
You're not. Don't freak her out anymore. She's got snow blindness.
You'll be all right in a minute.
Okay, I
Just
just
give
need.
it a
Am I alive or am I dead?
You're
You're
alive.
alive.
Oh, thank you.
No comment.
No one's got a
Thank
knife
the
here or
heavens.
anything.
I for what it's worth, press a digitator warm at least to try to comfort her. Give her a small rag so she can clean her face.
The last thing I remember is the serpent in that cave. But we're in Bryn'Shander. What happened? No, wait. Do I want to know?
Not particularly, but the shortest answer is that a lot of crazy stuff happened. We learned that you have a third sister. We're going to talk about that after we fight this dragon. Cut to, yes, we're about to fight a dragon. So we're going to fix your eyeballs here in a second. And then you ready to rock and roll? Yes is kind of the only option.
Oh, okay. Just when's it? Is it? Do I have time to No, I don't. It's fine. I'll make it work.
I pull out a small timepiece and I'm like, we have less than about 45, I think, at this point, or 30 minutes. I think is where
30 minutes.
About 30
sounds
minutes.
About right, yeah.
So yeah, you got about 30 minutes. Again, I'm whatever Arcana medicine check, I guess, beyond the fact to accelerate her snow blindness to quickly. I mean, other than that, I'm gonna wrap a rag around her eyes and she's going to be disadvantaged for a few rounds. But
I would say yeah. If you want to make a medicine check. Oh no.
I'd like to talk to Kanit for a moment. I just asked, Kanit, do you have enough lifespan vials?
To go. I'll just finish the Ono section here first. Ono, you
Okay.
as you like look over her her eyes, you do see that there is a bit of color returning to them. You just feel it really it'll just take like probably about 10 minutes for it to recover back, but it'll come back naturally. You won't have to worry about doing anything.
I hand her like a mug of ale and whatever warm food that has been cooking around the area. I'm like, here, just eat this, drink this. And I put a piece of like candy in her lap too. I'm like, and then afterwards, just here, put that in your hand. Hold on to that because Aethros will take it. Just wait a few minutes. Hang out right here. Don't go anywhere. And I kind of shuffle off to the rest of the group. I'm like, okay, cool. She'll be fine. She's just gonna be blind for a few minutes.
As you speak to Kanit, you would watch him once again twist his like wrist like 90 degrees and then pop his elbow like a split shotgun, and you'd see that there's a one vial kicks out on its own empty. There's one vial in his elbow that's still full, and he like looks to you. Unfortunately, I'm down to my last usage. Currently, I brought enough for what I thought was going to be a short mission. Did not realize how long I would be up here. So, to answer that question, I don't think I could answer it in any way except I don't really ever have enough lifespan.
I'd reach on my persons and hand him 3 vials. And say thanks for keeping our party members alive up here. Thanks for bringing one of them back.
It's all in part of the job, being a plane guard. But beyond that, it's just the right thing to do. And he like accepts the vials, and you see that he loads one of them into his arm and then snaps it back shut again. Once again, there's just a small pulse of like a light purple hue running through mechanical tubes on his arm, but seems to just distribute the liquid, not so much activate in this instance. And he looks at you once again. This should suffice, hopefully. My goal is to help protect as many citizens of 10 towns as possible. I do worry, though, about where we're going to have the people go. Do we have them stay distributed in the town in hopes that we slew this beast before it causes the most amount of harm? Do we gather them together somewhere and lure the dragon away from that location? I don't know what its plan is. I was not there when it launched. I didn't get to see any form of battle plans or anything like that, but from what it sounds like, based off of what you and your group say, my guess is that its mission is destruction and its goal is to level a city, meaning nowhere is truly safe. So, do you pile people together and hope it doesn't attack them? Do you leave them be and hope for the minimal amount of casualties? I do not know.
To be honest, I've been thinking underground. Essentially what's coming is total annihilation from what Ono and I saw in battle mechanics, essentially.
There is a barracks underneath. Well, not a barracks, there's a shelter underneath Town Hall. And 2 other buildings across town. I don't know if everybody will fit there. But you might be right. Underground at least would keep them out of the initial wave of combat. And if, well, the building collapses on top of the entrance, I would rather them have a chance at survival versus complete death.
If you want to work on that, you can. And I'll hand them 2 potions of healing as well. Then I'm going to hand 2 to Spit and 2 to Irini. That way everybody's got a couple.
Alright, just gotta add those to their character sheets.
Probably a shit about more, but we'll come across that hopefully later.
You said Iranian spit too.
Yeah.
It's probably the most foolish question we're gonna ask in the next 5 minutes, but Baldur's Gate rules. Can I throw a potion at somebody at splash damage?
No.
All right, cool. I figured it out.
It's a good thought. It's a good thought.
Yeah.
Can you, speaking of that, can you re-explain how we're using potions in the game?
Yeah.
Like if we use it as an action, it's max, or bonus action, it's max.
So if you use your action to heal, it is maximum healing. So you don't have to roll. It's what? Normal healing potions of healing are 2d4 plus, is it 2 or 4 or whatever? You wouldn't have to roll, you just take the max healing. Bonus action healing would be you're just chugging it in the moment, and whatever healing you get from that potion. So you have to roll for bonus action. You can also, I would say, to feed it to another individual. Like if someone's down and you're trying to get them up, that will cost you your action because you're feeding it to somebody else, not yourself. So it'd be forced, you'd have to do the action. And to feed it to a person who's down, like if you're doing it to yourself, if you use your action, it's maximum healing. If you feed it to another person, they still have to roll, but you're using your action to feed them a healing potion.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I want, as this time is going on here, as people are making preparations, as conversations are being had, I want Athros and Ono to make perception checks.
Sure. Guide myself.
Very nice.
I don't think Athros needs to at all.
Also
Jesus.
very nice. As you're making your preparations and you're finalizing anything that's going on, Athros doing whatever it is Athros is doing right now, you see, you swear as you're looking off to the side of like the southern wall. I kind of envision you thinking like, okay, well this road right here is probably a good one. Like we should consider maybe planting one of the stakes here. Blah blah blah. The two of you, at some point, look across the southern wall, and standing on the top of the wall, looking outward at the incoming storm, you see a familiar figure, wearing a rather long, poncho-looking piece of attire, and being maybe about between 8 and 12 years old, depending on growth spurts. You see someone who looks very much like the child of the Red Sun, standing and staring out at the storm coming in.
I'm like poking Athros. I'm like, you see that?
Yeah, yep.
You see that? You see that, right? You see that, right?
What all did you put in that contract?
I made it pretty
Did
air.
you stick anything in that you just
No,
found
I
out
didn't
about and now
think-
he's pissed?
I
What
just
do you
made
do?
it pretty airtight. I just put it. I mean, I put a
Airtight?
clause in there.
Did you
I put a
suffocate
clause
him
in there
with
for
it?
them to be happy, but in a non-threatening kind of. They're walking toward us. Why are they walking toward us?
Hey, you wrote the contract. Not my contract. You shouldn't be
Don't
after me.
put that on me. Don't you put that on... Be cool. Be cool. Just be cool. Just be cool.
I can't even read. How can I write that contract?
I didn't
Don't you
even-
put that on me,
My
Ricky?
excuse.
Don't you put it...
This is all on you.
How close are they?
Well, they're on the wall, so they're
just sitting on the
They're
wall.
like, yeah. So like the wall itself is like, I think the walls of Bryn'Shander are like between 20 and 25 feet tall. Like they're rather large tree trunks. There's a walking platform that goes across the wall, and like guards usually walk across it to like monitor for like security risks and stuff like that. The kid, child of the Red Sun, we'll just call him the child for now. The child is standing like on the walking platform. They're not walking towards you. They're not coming at you, but they're staring out at the storm that's making its way towards Bryn'Shander. You don't know if they know you're there. You don't know why they're there.
Well,
They
know we're here.
don't seem to even be paying you
confident
any
that.
mind right now, but they are here, and they are in Bryn'Shander. on the wall.
This is probably dumb, but I love chaos. I message the child.
Okay.
I point my finger at the child, non-threateningly.
Yeah.
And I go, "Hey, kiddo, how you doing? What are you doing here?" And precariously placed on the wall.
There's a small moment of silence, and you begin to feel as though they might not respond, and then you hear a voice kind of call back to you, same way, through your message. I'm here to determine exactly what events are going to pass in the next few hours. Don't worry, I'm not here for you. I can't be here for you thanks to your contract.
I mean, in any regard, responded with message. If any regard, if, worst case scenario, you just get to live out the rest of your existence happy. Still a win-win.
The definition of happy is relative. Now, I merely want to see specifically which direction these events that are about to unfold will unfold. Will you slew the dragon, or will the dragon slew you? Whatever happens here determines which timeline I'm on. My time in the amulet has hindered my ability to remember that particular piece. And if I would have not taken your deal, I would still be in there for another 600 years. But I'm out.
I mean,
And there's two different ways this could go.
Oh, no, you're good. Go for it, kiddo. Hey, this is you.
So I'm merely an observer, waiting and watching. I can't interfere one way or the other, because doing one could inadvertently cause you harm, and then there I go to some form of demiplane until I find a way to break free. But I can't. So here I am.
Turn to Athros and I go, just offhand, I'm like, okay, I think I actually did a pretty decent job on the contract. Side note, they're just watching to see if we do good or do not so good. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah, that sounds intimidating. Now I'm gonna have performance anxiety.
I don't know if it's more intimidating or if they're interested in whether or not we're actually up to snuff. In a non kind of performance anxiety kind of way. And I'm so much more intrigued than I was in the bubble.
He doping us out so that when he does finally attack us, he knows how to defeat us.
I mean,
He just
again, any roundabout any roundabout way they want to go about, putting the hurt on us would not be beneficial to them in any right, other than them finally seeking peace in existence that is of their own. But they don't think that's a good idea. So,
okay, so we don't have to worry about them attacking us. Good.
I don't think they're gonna attack us. But the contract is the contract. A quick message. Okay, cool. Thanks. I guess we're gonna defeat a dragon, and then hopefully this works out for you. Enjoy the show. And I turn to Athos. I'm like, let's just go. Let's just go. I don't.
Ask him if he wants some snacks. I got some snacks.
You're gonna give him some. You're gonna give the kid snacks.
Yeah, if he's here to watch. I don't have popcorn, but I got some, some peanuts, some beef jerky.
Message.
Some raisins.
Hey, kiddo. Athos is just gonna drop off some snacks at the bottom of the ladder. Totally up to you whether or not you want them.
I trust you understand that as a being who's been around since before this world existed, I don't really need to eat.
I know this. I got that. It's more of a pleasantry thing. Just you may, you know, he means well.
If you want snacks,
Yeah, I mean, they said they would, if you leave him at the bottom of the ladder, they will get utilized.
okay, yeah, I'll leave a couple of them down there.
This is the best game. As Aethros walks over and puts an assortment of snacky ration bits at the base of the ladder that leads up to the wall.
I look up and give him a thumbs up and a big smile.
And you get this almost piercing through you stare, as if they have no emotions within their body. And as you begin walking away and you give them that thumbs up, they just turn to face the storm once again.
I get it. They've been trapped inside of an amulet for nigh a millennia. Not fun for anyone. I get it. Maybe they just really like the scenery. We'll come back to we'll circle back around to this.
All right.
I'd say what that was.
Leave a
going-
small little note above the food. Please don't touch property of the child of RS.
I was gonna say, I think while that was going on, I'd walk over to Matra, and in my hand, I'd have 2 potions of healing out, and be like, "Hey, sorry it took so long to get you back. Sorry to toss you right back into the fire. Just in case, take these."
Thanks. If I don't use them, I'll make sure that they get used appropriately. Do you have any information about this dragon that we're apparently fighting soon?
It's a giant mechanical dragon that's coming from Sunblight Fortress, headed this way. Its only goal is basically complete annihilation of 10 towns.
Oh, wonderful. So we have to stop it, or it will rampage and destroy everything here in the north.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Wonderful. And you said it's mechanical.
That is correct.
Okay.
I imagine that conversation going kind of like Emperor's New Groove, where when they're in the boat, just like,
We're gonna die.
oh no.
Big-
Tied to the log about to fall off the cliff. There's a cliff behind me. Isn't there? Yep.
I felt a different vibe. I felt very much in the moment that Ebron's character is like a Brock Sampson standing and looking at a sunset storm and going, "This is the moment. We have to do this."
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, it's okay. You're out of one fire and into another. Do what you can. If you need help, ask.
Basically survive. Yeah, got it. Okay. And she just takes the potions and nods respectively, and then just starts walking away, and you can just hear her kind of uttering to herself, "First they get frozen, then they go do things, and next thing I know I'm fighting a dragon. What in the world am I doing with this party?" And just keeps just walks to go and make preparations somewhere. You don't feel she's gonna
Aethros and I are-
dip. You just feel like she's gonna do what she can.
Aethros and I are walking by and
Oh,
we're talking
so-
to a townsfolk and we're like, "Yeah, a lot of people think we're pretty fun."
I'd
Yeah,
like
except
to
for that
reload
one
on
kid.
arrows
only
as
1%
well,
doesn't like
if
us.
possible.
Yeah,
It's
you'd be able to
weird.
reload on arrows. That's fine.
Cool.
Oh no, as you guys return towards the town center a bit more, another familiar face appears to you as well. You see the familiar garb of familiar garb to you, a person walking in what looks to be some form of what many people would misinterpret as a bear cub's costume, but is actually very warm winter clothing. Copper Knocker has come out to the town center, and he sees you and walks up to you. "Oh, I was told that I should probably come and help out here.
It is
Mi-
back to back. Like
Mishan
celebrities.
is she's a bit busy, so I'm here to help provide some form of healing support in the field.
I
For
put my
anyone involved.
hand, I put my hand on Cobble's shoulder and I go,
It is much appreciated. Are you like you're good? You got like a Revivify locked and loaded just in case. This is just baseline, like Cobble. This is I gotta know. I gotta know. Athros has gotta know. I look up at Athros. I'm like, mean mug him.
Yeah.
I give him the meanest mug look ever. First intimidation.
Okay.
no, let's go.
As he's like getting ready to respond, he's like, "No,
No,
I
you
don't have
Okay.
that."
Okay, fair enough. At least we're honest. We good open communication.
That is
That's
the
fine.
scariest
What
face.
can you do?
I can
if anything?
I can
Answer.
heal. I just
Good.
can't
Can
heal back from the dead.
Can you? Okay.
I can do magical things, and he like utters like the beginnings of like the incantation for like cure wounds, and you see like his hand like begin to radiate a little bit,
Save it,
and then
save it.
he disperses the gathered magic, so that way it's not wasted. But he's like, I can do certain things, but I cannot bring
Not
people
impressed.
who are not with us back from being unalived.
I pat him on the shoulder and I turn over to Athros.
I'm like, that's better than nothing. I mean, honestly, it's better than nothing.
Pull up my wand, just like, hey, me too. I can also heal people from the dead.
I don't believe
Cobble,
him.
this is gonna be you're gonna be clutch. Cobble, you gotta be clutch.
I look at like the group around us. Can I just analyze where Cobble may be most effective, whether he is actually better to be served up with a primary character with one of us, or it would behoove us to put him with like a secondary NPC character currently? Can I like do some kind of like analyzation, maybe like in like intelligence or something?
He
Sure.
sounds like support group.
Do you like?
I
yeah,
like. I don't
Yeah.
want to discount Cobble at all, but it's like I don't want Cobble to get eaten in half before he gets a chance to heal like Arini or Spit or something, you know?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. Okay. I would say make a just general intelligence check.
Cool.
Honestly,
Like a straight up check.
straight up
Who do
intelligence.
for? Whack.
Mm,
Like looking around, like
you're like looking around. You're like, oh, like you initially are like, oh, maybe we should have him be with like a secondary group of people, and then you're like, oh, but maybe I could use him here, and like you don't really come
In
to
this-
a decisive.
in this situation.
Yeah.
situation, I look at Athros. I'm like,
Where do you think Mr. Knobblecknocker will be best served? Athros.
I think he should just stick behind Big Tune.
I
Use
love
him
it.
as like a big shield.
I love
and
that
heal him
idea.
up as needed.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Personal healer. Like Kitty Smash.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Cobble is
Can I
Cobble
hold him
wearing?
as a shield?
Cobble's like a full blown cleric, or
Yeah,
Or
so
like-
he's considered an alkalite, but he is. If we look at class stats, he is clerik as like
I'm
his.
mainly thinking of
class.
how heavy is Cobble. Can I put him on Big Tune's back?
C3PO him essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, because Big Tune has he has a high strength score. You feel like he'd be able to be on Big Tune's back.
Okay. While
yeah.
still holding Cobble's shoulder, I'm like,
Okay, now this is a coveted position, and I need you to take this extremely seriously. This is quite literally my favorite place to hang out in the group, next to like between Athros and Big Tune. Like this is like the what? Because again, it's like an echo chamber of awesome. But no, and I go, Kitty, come here.
Yo.
Okay. Again, Kitty, this is. Cobble knocker. Look, God, you man, even knows.
Now a Pandabo.
Yep,
Cobble
Cobble
knocker.
knocker.
Sure.
Please meet our
Alright, I'm not good at names, dude. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
No, just Cobble. Just call him Cobble. It's fine.
Just call me Copper. You can call me first name if it's easier. Like the coin.
Gravel?
Copper. No.
Don't call him Crabapple. He's actually pretty cool. Anyways, this is Big Tune. He's very proud. He's extremely proud. Probably one of the craziest strong members of our family. Please, Kitty, if you would not mind allowing Copper upon you in the same position that I usually take up. Copper is going to kind of backpack you and make sure that you're alive. Cool?
I mean, sure, whatever.
I turn. I'm like, Copper, if you screw this up, I swear.
I mean, if I screw this up, I'm probably dead, so you can swear.
That's true. That's true. That's fair. Okay. Good luck! And I pat him on the shoulder. Walk away.
He like looks up at you, Big Two, and he's just like, "You're a very tall cat," and you just like sighs, and you see like he's wearing literally like he looks like he's a giant walking teddy bear in the like winter suit that he's wearing right now.
So you have literally Boo Boo on your shoulder, and
how would my ring of warmth affect him with him literally being on my person?
It would not. It is specific to you, so it would be your body that would be warm. He might feel like, you know, your body's like a normal warm temperature, but it's not going to provide him with any warmth, really.
Okay, I was gonna say the only reason I asked is just because I saw it when I was looking at it today. It said it was me and my personal effects are like unaffected.
Yeah. Yeah, so like you and your items, but Copper's not considered a personal object or item unless he's dead. In which case, you might be able to eat his corpse.
Yeah. At that point, he becomes loot.
Slowly cooking him. Okay,
Right.
yeah, I just want to make sure it wasn't just like me and anything on me.
The last thing would be, I would say, as the party's still continuing their preparations, nearing the end here, so we're getting close to go time, you would see someone who you all haven't really talked to much. Well, yeah, I guess if Big Tune and Athros went to get a couple drinks at some point, they would have run into him. But Scramsax from the North Look, when you were meeting with him at the tavern getting drinks, he was wearing just his standard civilian attire, but he seems to be decked out in some of his old wartime garbs, and he is weaponed up, and he came to the town square. Well, I heard you might need a little assistance, so I'm here to provide my own arms in the fight.
You old salty dog. All right.
Well, if the North Look disappears, I really don't have anything tying me here, so I think it'd be good to try to stave off bad juju.
That's fair. We gotta keep your place of business up and running.
Agreed. And he would like look to Duvessa and the sheriff, and then look back at the party. So, do you feel ready? You feel confident? I have no idea what we're going up against here. I've just been told from some guards that it's a dragon, but like mechanical. So
that is
not
quite
a dragon at the same
literally
time.
the gist of it. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. And you see like he loads up in like his bow that he carries on his back, just like he has a couple, not many, but some of his arrows seem to be made, like the tips seem to be made of something a little bit different, as if it's meant to like puncture through objects. I don't got many of these, but I'll provide you with support while I can. So
I would love to direct you to my anti-dragon air cannon, and I'd kind of position him near one of those, because if he's an archer, he might have a better eye than one of the fishermen that I'm asking to activate this harpoon.
Okay.
I mean, if that's the case, do you want me next to one then?
I mean, honestly, if you're not hidden somewhere, you would. It would be. It's a one-time use kind of thing. It's literally like we
realistically with the fight. Launching arrows probably isn't going to do much damage against metal, and I don't know if my psionic ability is going to do anything against this as well.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll see. I mean, yeah, take out. That's fine with me. It's okay by me.
I do have gunpowder if you want to try making exploding arrows.
I mean, I had requested an abundance of like as much because the cannons require a small amount of like gunpowder. So I don't know if I made it out with any extra, but I have components.
I just want to update my drawing. That's all I want to do.
All I want to do is update my drawing.
God, do we want to give me any exploding arrows before? I've got one thing of gunpowder. And that is from like the very
the
beginning.
Very beginning.
That's, yeah.
From the before times.
Session 0.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to... Are you hoping to have exploding arrows crafted during this time?
I would, if Odo could make them, I would give the materials to him. But if he can't make any, then no.
I could say by my own hand to tinker that together an explosive that would work successfully. I could probably guarantee one without it fucking up. But if I'm trying to make more than any, I know it's going to be a roll with like a bunch of complications. You're asking me to build you a projectile with a flint trigger upon impact to explode a packet of gunpowder is a little bit technical. And with what I would assume is we're hedging on like what 15 minutes left maybe.
Yeah, you don't got much time left.
I probably could crack out one.
I'm willing to roll the dice if you are.
If God'll let me, I'll do a tinkerer's check.
Go for it.
Sick.
And there goes my last gunpowder.
I'm gonna guide myself. Yeah, I highly doubt that this is successful. You probably have like an arrow with a saggy pouch of gunpowder on the tip of it, and you could probably rattle it around and hear that the flint trigger is not fully secure. It's the best I got.
Yeah, it's not what you were hoping for. You're unsure if it'll detonate the way you want it to do that explosive concussive damage.
Ebron, I got an idea. Hold on to this, and if I'm lucky to get an Alkfire vial on this dragon and set it on fire, aim for that fire.
Alright.
Sick.
Okay. Any other last minute preparations?
I eat a banana so I don't cramp.
That banana is very cold.
The schmad bitch should be frozen.
Alright, it is time for me to turn on some Diddles music.
I put one explosive arrow with
You cut out for me. What did you say?
I said I put one explosive arrow in my inventory, but I put quotations around explosive.
Yeah. Explosive with a keyword on whether or not it is explosive.
Fair. Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you to shoot it, it's gonna work.
I think it's time to give you... The sheriff would come up to all of you as the storm is now rolling in. The storm has reached Bryn'Shander, and it is beginning to snow rather hard, and the wind is picking up. He approaches all of you as, like, you see some of the fires around 10 towns begin to disperse from the sheer force of the wind in the area. You see that your vision is now getting restricted down to maybe about 30 feet. As he walks up to you, he says, partially through a shout, but his voice is low and, bubbly enough that it's able to project quite well. All of you are going to be responsible for maintaining the town center. I've got guards scattered all over the place. We got commoners who are still making their way to the shelter down below. try to keep as many of them alive as possible. And also, I guess, try to take this thing out of the sky. I'm leaving that part up to all of you. And he like looks down to Ono especially. Hope those things work that you made.
You and me both, Sheriff.
Am I starting to get any communication from guards about visuals or anything?
You would hear one guard, from the, you're not sure which sector they're actually from because you hear the communications but you don't know which direction they come from, but you hear someone say, I see something. I think it's coming from the south gate. That area. Big black object. Is that it?
Yeah, that's gonna be it.
Oh, snap.
Alright, boys. South gate.
Nizap.
So, here is our wonderful map. This represents the center of Bryn'Shander. I've put so much freaking time into all of the solid objects pieces of it for the walls. Basically, before combat actually begins, you are able to choose within this giant rectangle where you want to start, where you would like your character to be, and I would say give input for Irini and Matra and Spit.
Okay, cool. Okay, well then, okay, for Irini, Matra, and Spit, Irini and Spit, I want together. If anybody else objects, I think they should tag team together at least.
I think Arini should give probably Bardic Inspiration to somebody beforehand. Well, I will offer to be around of one of, Ono's harpoon net catchers, so wherever one of those is where I would need to go.
Okay. Do you want to be closer or farther away from said dragon?
Further away.
Okay, then you would probably want to be... Let me try to ping it. There's there's circles on one on each corner of this wonderful map.
Yeah.
Those represent where your harpoon launchers are.
So, like right where I'm at now.
Yeah, so like there's a little circle down there.
Oh,
That's one of
okay.
the harpoon launchers. So if you wanted to use it, you'd have to be on top of it.
Hey, stop messing with the cat.
Oh yeah, that's right, we have a clockwork defense.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, yeah, like, okay. Matra should be with a group of people at least a melee fighter. Who is this handsome black gentleman over yonder?
That's the sheriff.
That's the sheriff? Oh, good. Love it.
Sorry,
okay.
I realize some of our people are set up where it's you can't see their names unless they're hovered by. I gotta change their settings quick. As
You're good. You're good. Okay.
This thing flies, right? Or is it actively flying, right?
The dragon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is flying to us right now.
Correct.
And approaching, you said from the
Southgate.
Southgate. Copy. Okay. I mean, if we could put the Clockwork Defender up here in the top right corner with Tilly. I think if we put Matra back up there too, or at least Matra in the somewhere in that region, that at least they...
Where do you want to put Mitra? I'm sorry, I was putting names, so I completely forgot.
You're totally okay. I'm just thinking out loud. We put Tilly and the Clockwork Defender and Matra up in the top right corner. What would be, I guess, the
northeast corner. That's my thinking, unless anybody has any objection to that. I put Gebetto on Spit, and
Okay.
we move Spit in a Rini somewhere.
Do you want to put Spit in a harpoon as well?
I mean, that doesn't.
He's also
sound,
an archer.
That doesn't sound bad. I just think I like the idea of keeping Spit and Rini together.
That's fine.
So
Yeah,
we
that's
could
fair.
probably put them on the northwest corner. So I'll move Gebetto up yonder.
I would say Irini should probably give either Athros or Bictune a bardic inspiration as well.
Give it to Bictune.
Yeah, that's a good play.
A lot of my stuff requires them to do saves.
Yeah, either Bictune or Miras would be a good play.
True. Maris, where are you at?
I don't know. What would be the best position for me, in your guys' opinion?
The Sword Coast, probably somewhere in a nice tavern with a great stage show.
Yeah, not here.
You want me to be honest?
Yeah, because I guess it really depends what type of range attacks you have. 'Cause I don't know if we're ever gonna get in like melee combat with this thing.
We have to get it to the ground. That's if we
Yeah.
want to get in melee, we have. That's why it's like that's what my thought process with the grappling hooks is like if we get it
Yeah.
to the ground long enough to do enough to incapacitate it on the ground, we have a better shot. At least the start of this combat. So I mean, honestly, if there's any way that we can buff the archers or ballista operators or the grapple cannon operators in any fashion, if you think that's a better position to be by, that is a great spot to be at. Short of oh my gosh, kitten, I know. My cat's going crazy.
How dare they?
I probably am, yeah, like somewhere by that. Is that tower accessible in the north corner, like the north region? Yeah.
So there's no. It's like it's a. What do you want to call it? It's a.
Like an object.
It's a roof. It's a
Right.
angled roof, so it's not really a tower, so to say. It's just like that's.
Okay.
it's-
Cool.
There's not. There's not a platform outside at the top.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I'm thinking like in the best place of cover, that might be a good cover area, because if we do get the dragon to the ground, or if it breath weapons, that's a straight cover area, at least I can think of. It's also an immediate like destruction area for it to fucking destroy, so.
What do you have? What do you have prepared, Marius?
A crossbow?
Yeah,
bolt?
that's about it.
Well, like, what about like spells?
Yeah, I have a hex.
You got all your spells back, so.
Yeah, so hex, armor Agathes, arms of Hadar, hold person, borrow knowledge, which last one wouldn't do anything.
Whole person probably won't, unless you could upcast it to hold mechanical dragon.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's called Hold Monster.
Yeah.
But is this thing a monster? Is it?
I mean, it's got a monstrous
For the
attitude.
purposes of the spell.
I would say maybe the Marius, if you can hop on a harpoon, just being another fellow archer might be best. I don't know.
Okay.
This is very much a could be TPK moment, so I don't really want
Alright.
to take care
Yeah, come on. It'll be alright.
Oops.
All right. So where were we? One more time. Where were we putting Spit and Arini?
Top corner up here. Yes, with Gebetto. Gebetto should be up there.
Yep.
And I am gonna take kind of if it's headed directly from the south. I'm so stupid. I'm just gonna stand right over here by this building, by my lonesome, and yeah, take up.
I think at that point, then I should probably, probably come up towards the front line. Oh wait, actually, I wanted to be over by Canute.
Canute's helping villagers get out.
I mean, that's fine. I just meant like in that area.
Yeah, we have the four grapple cannons that are embedded in the ground, and I have a grapple cannon that is a freewheeling one. So I might be taking a ride on a dragon here in a second, maybe.
I think another thing that should be in play is as soon as it's 1 in range, 2, make sure everybody is the fuck out of Irini's way, and she needs to use that, Gallic gun thing she has.
The God Cannon.
Yeah.
It's a good name for it.
I like it. It's what it did. That's what it did.
All right. Is everybody in the position they want to be in?
I think so.
Other than
Sure.
having to be in battle in the first place.
Yeah.
It's gotta happen at some point, though.
Wait, one thing I
Oh,
just
the
remembered I
people
actually
live
want to
with
give. Oh no! For the first time, I'm actually going to use this on someone else. Vigilance Blessing.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
So you get advantage on initiative or the next initiative roll.
Let's go. Okay, cool. That
Okay.
could be extremely clutch.
And then Irini gave Big Tune Bardic Inspiration as well.
Okay. I'll mark off one of her
Alright.
inspirations. It would check out since you're on the front line.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure it didn't go up in size yet.
Then I'm,
It's a D8
I'm
at
linked
5th level,
with.
so I gotta up. It's a D8 now instead of a D6.
Oh, sweet.
And then I'm linked with like 12 other guards. So with them manning ballistas, as soon as this thing is like within range and either grappled, I'm saying this aloud to the group. I'm telling them to fire. So be prepared for that as well.
That's fine. I mean, that's the idea. Let's not wait until he's. Yeah, no. Hit, kill. Yeah. Put
Right.
the paint on it.
Okay, so I'm gonna highlight my entire map
I just
because
love how
now
it
you get to
just
roll for initiative.
starts out.
What is going on with this? Like my chat window thing is all messed up.
Oh, I know. No, I did that on purpose. So, there's two things that are
Oh,
different.
you did.
Yeah. So if you look at your combat window, there is still the chat window on the bottom, and then the combat window on the top. So that way you don't have to
Oh,
bounce
okay,
back
cool.
and forth between your stuff. I added a new module for that. And then there's a turn tracker module in there now too. So if your turn is next in line, it's going to send a little blurb on your screen to kind of like get ready. And then
Okay.
on your turn, it'll
That's
also
awesome.
say it's your turn. What do you want to do? To kind of help with turn progression. I will say, as we're on initiative here, just to get it onto the map.
Oh, hey there, Big Two. How you doing up at the top?
Jesus.
Hey, for once.
Yeah.
Arguably the most important time.
For real.
Most important, but unless we get it down on the ground, ain't gonna do much.
Do
I
I
can
get anything
still.
special for rolling a critical? Or is it really not going to matter for this encounter because it's still far away?
Is it gonna matter at all? Who knows?
Yeah.
You get to start floating in
better
the
with
air
the
for
better
free.
roll.
No pi-
This NPC list is so much longer than the underground fight.
That just means there's more that are gonna die.
Yeah, I know. This is a lot of casualties coming up.
Yeah, can't wait till there's like 7 of us left.
Why does Dakota play D&D? So he can murder his NPCs.
I like how Gebetto rolled better than you.
Yeah, I don't know.
And you had advantage.
He should. He
Hold on.
acts on my initiative. I don't know what the hell he's rolling for.
Can we take a
I'll
moment to
remove
look
it
at
from the initiative.
Kavit's
It's fine. It's it's
initiative?
cool.
You got a 27?
He got a 27.
God, what the fucking meat? It was like 3 moves ahead of us.
Yeah.
Damn.
Holy
Oh, I didn't
cow!
realize he was that far ahead. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
You
has a
better
really
roll
good.
better than me.
He has a really good modifier.
Yeah, he must.
He's also a very strong character, so he's here as a support.
Yeah, that would make sense.
As combat, as everyone's like bracing for the dragon to appear, you hear the sound of like mechanical gears whirring. You see a flash of light coming from the south end of the wall. You hear the sound of one of the ballistas firing. You don't hear it make impact, but what you do see is as the area kind of gets a little more silent once again for a brief moment, something dark and large and heavy crashes into the building next to the town hall, and looking over the rooftop as it is landed on the roof, you see the Charladyn dragon.
Okay,
Unfortunately, I gotta roll
Where?
initiative first.
before we get into battle, who fired the ballista, and where was it from?
It was from the south side. One of your town guards that you had linked to had fired one of the ballistas on the wall. So it was the south end ballista. There's one in each quadrant that are active. They have their own actions at the end of each round.
Okay.
All 4 of them don't get to go. One of them gets to go at a time, but each of them take the equivalent of about 2 rounds to reload. So essentially there'll always be one available as long as it's still active. So the one ballista had fired now, and now we can begin combat.
Good
God, this
bastard.
dragon's gonna have like a 27 round turn. Be like
This is-
attack, legendary, attack.
Hey, I make no
Legendary
promises.
resistance. Oh, and of course the dragon's going up towards the top.
Heck yeah, bro.
Yeah, I felt good about our roll, John, and then all of a sudden everybody else started rolling, and I was like, alright.
If it makes you feel better, I couldn't see myself for a little bit. I was on my phone and I look and I'm like, I'm not even on top anymore.
Yep.
Kanit.
So glad we unfroze Matro and for her to get a 3.
I saw that too.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I was watching as it
Yeah,
was
that-
going.
that
I
is
was
like
like,
counter
man,
move
I'm at the
for
bottom here. Where is all the people? Oh, there's Matra. And then she's like, a 3 at the bottom.
Uh-huh.
Rolled so.
I'm gonna roll with 1, so.
Where is this dragon on here?
I don't think we
You
can see
may
it
not
quite
be
yet.
able to see it.
Yeah, if you can't see it, oh boy.
Can
Where are
some
you?
people see it?
Bottom
Yes.
left.
Okay.
I cannot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess I'm kind
I'm
of surprised
guessing
I can't see it, but
Your vision is
It must-
restricted to 30 feet, so if you can't see it, like the bright light helps, expands it a little bit, but you have very restricted vision right now on what you can and can't see. So it is on a rooftop, technically right now. It's actually, yeah, it's right next to the town hall.
Yeah.
So it is on this rooftop, because you should be able to see my ping.
Yeah, I can see like on a diagonal, just in front.
Oh, there's
That's
a building, I think, in the way. That's why I can't. Or no, I can
Yeah,
see it.
it's possible. The buildings do in fact
Back.
add a layer of being unable to see. So, Kanit is going to spend a 3rd level
Great
spell
job.
slot, and he's going to cast Lightning Arrow And so essentially he conjures electrical energy into his bow that he has out right now, and he's going to fire off an arrow with that energy and try to hit the dragon.
This battle would have been epic as like a I don't want to call it a one shot, but like a extended session. Just like we battled till we're done.
Oh, like a whole day.
Hmm.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, he has such good bonuses. How in the world did he miss that? Anyway, so
Oh.
this arrow made of, like not made of, but like coated in this heavy electrical energy fires off at the dragon. But the wind carries the arrow a bit high, and you see like it crackles across the frame of the dragon itself, but it does not make purchase because it didn't hit anything near it. The secondary effect doesn't kick in. But he is going to fire one more arrow from his bow. And that second one also gets carried off by the wind. So he misses both of his shots, and he takes a moment as an interaction. He lights a cigarette, and he's just like, "Fuck!" And then he is going to move out of the. He's going to move farther down.
I audibly and just go. Ooh.
Oh yeah, there is also another module that I added where it'll show your starting location when you move, so it'll disappear at the end of your turn. But this way, like if you don't remember where you started, you can go back to that spot without being concerned of where it was. So that's gonna be Kneet's turn. Duvessa, what do you have? She has a short bow. Duvessa's gonna fire off a shot at the dragon herself, because what good leader doesn't lead their way into battle?
Come on, Duvessa.
I'm just gonna throw copper.
And it's gonna miss. And seeing that it misses, she's going to take a couple
Light a
steps
cigarette.
Light a cigarette and say fuck.
Light a cigarette. I'll be back. I'll see you guys in 30 minutes.
All right, Athros, you are up.
Okay, so seeing as how nobody has hit this thing,
Such a snide comment, bro.
But where's the lie?
This is true.
you know what? I'm going to move 30 feet up. Let me. Here. Oh. That's 30 feet. Actually, how is that all?
Can you see it now?
I can see it. I'm just trying to think if this would help because.
Yeah.
Like, how dark is it actually? Like, is it affecting people? Like, is it dim light?
For the most part, yeah. Other than where the fire is like roaring and where the torches are, everything else is dim light or darkness.
Is that
depending on how
due
far
to
away
the
torches are? Yeah.
Is that due to the snowstorm that came with it?
Due to the snowstorm and the fact that currently 10 towns is in this eternal darkness, so it's kind of twofold. But yeah, the snowstorm definitely limited visibility quite a bit. So there's a lot more
Even
dark.
with-
It's a lot darker than what it normally is.
As far as we know, it's not magical darkness.
Correct.
So would that still affect us with dark vision though?
Yes, because it's still a heavy obscurity. It'd be like being in a fog cloud.
Gotcha.
So I want to use daylight, but how do I put it on my character? I'm like lit up.
What's the
60-foot
60-foot radius of light spreads around. It's bright light and sheds dim light for an additional 60 feet. Okay. I have an idea.
Pretty good radius.
I have an idea to lift my fog of war only in a 60-foot radius.
Athros lights up like the sun.
Yeah.
The whole south corner.
So that was action and movement. Bonus action. I don't think I can do anything. Oh, I'm just yeah. Stand here.
Yeah.
Stand still, look pretty.
Uh huh.
Okay.
Want to yell at it, try and intimidate it, actually, draw its attention. Look over here, ugly. I don't know if that will.
I mean, if you want to try, be an
Oh, yeah,
intimidation check.
Okay.
Even with that, it's a mechanical creature, and as you say, "Come here, ugly." It has no concept of what ugly is, but it does hear what you said. Whether or not it chooses to attack you versus other people, you'll have to find out.
Oh, you're just too stupid at feeling that reality.
It's really just like
So
staring
cool to
right.
say.
Yeah.
Maximum emotional damage.
Aethros really needs to learn Vicious Mockery as a cantrip.
For real though.
Yeah. Right, that's it for my turn.
Okay. Now bring us to a commoner who is going to. He after seeing like you run towards the center of town because it's one of them that's in the start box. He's going to take cover behind the building. And just like stay out of sight until he feels the coast is clear because he's trying to get into the town hall to get out of harm's way in his mind. So he's going to hang out right there, kind of like cower, make himself small to avoid damage. Going into the tornado drill position. That brings us to the dragon.
Targets that one specific comment.
Yeah, and who knows? He might go for the ad first.
Right.
Ah, shit. Cover.
Not distracted by the
Why?
giant glowing guy.
Did Copper
Or-
roll, or is he just gonna go at the same time as
Oh no,
Big
he's
Tom?
on. He rolled.
He's
Yeah.
there. He's underneath the sheriff and the commoner.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, this is. All right, time to roll a D2.
D97 to figure out who he's gonna.
D2
Okay.
says-
Okay.
What'd you roll, 1 or 2?
I'm not gonna tell you.
It's me.
He's
Roll a
going
3.
to.
He rolled
First thing is use his breath weapon.
Ow. Owie, owie. It's just gonna light up the whole map. I think. It's just gonna be like, here, it's a 97-foot cone.
That's good. That's not good.
And you're all dead.
I don't have what his thing is. Give me a second here. I think it's a dex save. It's probably a dex
Dragon
save.
Cat wish
Yeah,
and
most
wishes
them
all of
are
us.
Probably death saves.
Probably have it in the thing itself.
God,
Yeah,
could you imagine
it is a
playing
dex
with that much of a toxic DM? Yeah, this dragon just cast his wish. You all are dead now.
save. All right,
What?
did it prompt you
witches.
for a? Did it prompt you for a saving throw?
Yeah. And I just saw the damage type. And now I'm not as concerned.
Oh. Oh. Is it why I think it is?
Maybe. I don't know if you know I have what I have for this.
Oh. Maybe? Because we do share certain traits at the moment.
So yeah, so Aethros you will fail and Duvessa failed.
That's a
I
straight up
didn't
dead.
see what I rolled.
I don't know why. See, it didn't. For some reason, it doesn't reveal it to you. But it says it privately to me.
Okay.
Not quite sure why, but you rolled 10 and Duvessa rolled an 11, so you both failed the save. The damage is 40, but
Okay.
did it prompt you to use like? Sorry.
Oh no, it didn't probably do anything. It just automatically calculated that I had radiant damage resistance.
Oh,
So I only took 20.
right, you do.
Uh-huh.
So it fires off this massive, like, straight line beam at yourself and Duvessa. And
Straight up nuked her, dude.
Out here
You
catching
watch-
strays.
Aethros, you like brace yourself, and you're like engulfed in this like radiant fire, but you feel as though it's supposed to do more damage, and you remember, wait a second, this might not be the worst thing. And you look back to see where it trails up, and you just see Duvessa just like become this like moderately charred corpse, and she keels over, dead.
Yeah, that still really hurt me. Hurt a lot more than I thought it was going to.
All right, and then it is going to come on down.
Like, is she dead, or just needs a revive?
She did.
Yeah, she's dead.
She did.
It's gonna jump down off the roof, and it's going to come up and make a couple attacks against Big Tune.
Yeah. I'm okay with this at the moment.
It's gonna
We'll
swing one of its
circle back
claws.
in a minute. And
Do I have any indication? I know it's not my turn, but do I have any indication on where the like grapple launchers are in the initiative? Because I probably would have primed them to be like, if he's anywhere near like the center of the map, or if it's on the ground, like ready to action to fire at least whoever is closest to it.
Okay. So it's based off of the people who are stationed at it in the order.
Okay. Cool.
But neither of them, I actually don't know where they are right now. Can't see that part of my token tracker. But they can't be too far down.
No
Oh wait,
worries.
one of them is at the very bottom. Otherwise, never mind. But I would say two of them probably would be able to get their shots off if they have sight on it. One of which does. See, here's the thing. One of them does not, and your range is out to 30 feet. Could they? Like the thing can go farther, but the snow has put another damper on your ability to use it.
Yeah. Okay. No worries. No worries.
I would say if you wanted them to try, they could, but I'm not going to force that as, given the weather, you might have changed your mind.
Yeah, no worries. I think I would rather the dragon be closer than further. So.
Okay, so its first attack against Big Tune is going to miss as it goes in. You're, because you do sword and shield, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it goes in, and like you feel the weight of this creature as it digs down at you with one of these massive claws. However, it doesn't seem to make purchase with that one. It's going to attack you once more with its other claw. Down to 26.
Yep, I see that.
Yeah,
I always know when you hit me because it always tries to make me use my riposte, which is the incorrect usage of it.
Right. So, okay, so it is going to hit, I guess. I think Aethros is probably the only one who can actually use it, but are you... let me know, if you're planning on using Silver Barbs, just let me know.
Okay.
Before I do damage calculations, so...
Was your attack a crit or 20?
I mean, it was not a crit.
I think you
It
have it.
Okay.
was just a 26.
I didn't hear that if it was or wasn't.
No, that's
My
fair.
audio cut out.
It's not a crit, so... I'll announce whether or not they are, because some places have abilities that directly tie to that, so... Okay, so do damage... 14 damage to you, good sir.
Okay.
And I think that's...
Like it hurt, but like I'm glad I'm not like mad about it.
You're not dead.
Yeah. No. After seeing what happened to Duvessa, I'm like, all right, well, I'll take this as
Yeah.
a win.
Well, I'm not dead.
I think that'll be the dragon's current turn. So it's going to did its
Oh my-
beam, kill the person, jump down, attacked you a couple times. That seems like a good spot. That'll bring us to...
The worst part is it wasn't even just a person, dude. It was like an actual character, not just like some random person.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Brutal.
That'll bring it to a guard's turn, who's going to make his way into the square. he doesn't have a ranged weapon on him in particular. I do have the heavy crossbows on specific guards, but that one is not one of them. That'll be his turn, which will bring us to Victoon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, oh, that's good. Don't worry. I'm currently casting part of my screen to my TV so I can keep my character sheet up without covering half of the screen.
That's fair.
That also puts all of like the token stuff on the TV, so I have to look up to target. Well, I mean, kitty do what kitty do. Diddy dum diddy do. And yeah, I mean, it.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, if it's
hang
on the
on.
ground, you gotta hit it.
You gotta
Yeah,
hit it,
well,
bro.
I would just. Well, yeah, no. I'm going to.
No,
I would
guys,
like
I'm gonna hit this dragon. Don't worry about that.
I would just like to see if I could make some sort of. I don't know if it's perception or negation, just straight wisdom, intelligence, whatever, to make like if I can tell whether or not my attacks are going to, be normal or not as good.
That would be. I would say, yeah. Give me just a straight intelligence check from Victoon. You have no idea.
Oh, shit. As you guys just visibly see me shrug, I'm like, I stand there for like a split second, shrug, and then raise my sword and attack.
Go for it.
Try.
So damn close.
13 is not going to hit.
Just a friendly reminder.
You cut out. One.
Yeah, just a friendly reminder.
It's a
And the
dragon.
dragon killed him before he could finish his sentence.
Alright.
Well, what else to do? But do it again, I guess. I'll do it again. This time, try not to like blow through all of them.
Yeah, keep in mind too, you do have that Bardic Inspiration, 1d8.
You know what? I'll use it here.
Would he have advantage with copper on his back?
If anything, it would impose disadvantage because he has a passenger.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let
Yeah.
it slide because I don't want to hinder you guys more than I already am.
We're small creatures. We're so weak.
Please.
Well, 25 will hit.
I was gonna say if this doesn't hit, I'm logging off. That's it.
Well,
I'm
then you
done.
just brace for a TPK at that point. But no,
They're going down.
25 will hit.
Okay. um, okay.
Okay, I want you to make a perception check for me. You weren't sure before. I want you to roll one more for me.
Oh,
So it'd be
okay.
perception instead of a
Perception
standard.
now?
Yeah, this time it'll be a perception because you're like observing what you were investigating.
Hey. I learned by do, not by think.
You watch as your attack makes purchase against the creature. First off, it reverberates off of the Charladyn that is encasing this creature, and it kind of like reverberates back into you for a second. They're not hindering you in any way, but you watch as the fire and the radiant damage as they make purchase on the creature. You feel pretty confident that in all of your other attacks, they would do normally more damage, whether it's one or the other. This one, both the fire and the radiant seem to not do as much as what you would have liked. With a small, like a small indent on the side of its encasing.
I feared as much. Okay. Well, if that's the case, might as well get this out of the way, because why not? It's not really going to do much. I can guarantee you it's not going to work. So I'm going to try to use my daunting rumor and scare
Okay.
this thing.
Let's go.
So, I mean, I feel like this is a fight where it's just going to be used everything.
Yeah.
Looks like you have to make a DC 14 Wisdom save.
Yep.
No, I don't think this dragon's that wide. Come on now.
So it did fail,
Let's go.
but as you let out this daunting roar, it does not seem phased. This creature is immune to being frightened.
Okay. Well,
But that was
sure, that's all I got. Yeah.
Okay. That brings us to another commoner. One on the edge of town. One by Irini and Spit, to be specific, and Gebetto. This one is going to hide behind the building, and because it's hearing the stuff going on where it was heading, to avoid harm's way. And that's going to be his entire turn. That'll bring us to another guard who is coming down the northern passageway from like where the North Look is. I believe you guys can't get to the North Look on this map, but he's coming down that road. He's going to make his way towards the center as he heard the noises going on. Center of town. Dashed. Okay. That'll be his turn. Ebrin, it is now your turn.
What are the range on your contraptions here?
150 feet.
Cool. I'm gonna use steady aim to give myself advantage on whatever roll I have with this, but I'm going to use Ono's dragon net essentially to
his
Dragon
grappling
grapple.
Yeah, the grappling cannon, I think is the name we just gave it, but it can be called whatever we want it to.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Okay, let me just add it to your items really quick. It's a one-off, but it'll be, I'll add it so you can actually use it. Should be in your inventory as grapple cannon.
Oh, I hope it works.
Yeah, now I just gotta try to find it. Grapple cannon. Alright. Standard roll. You must target. Oh, I'm sorry. Target. Attack.
17 is going to hit.
Go.
Go
Cool.
ahead and roll for damage. And it has to make a grapple check.
I'm just reading what you wrote. Okay, no, it doesn't have any other effect.
item. Please.
Just a normal roll. Okay. So, as the does take did take the damage. Good. As you fire this off at the creature, this first one here, as it was fired off, and, it's got it. This once. Okay, that's better. You watch as as that first, whatever you want to call it, bolt, reinforced bolt, whatever you want to call it, with the chain and cable that they use to reel in very heavy objects. It sinks itself into one of the shoulder plates of the creature. Technically, it has a restricted flying path that it can go on right now. It's not restricted to the ground, but it cannot move across the entire city with that thing embedded within it. And with everyone that gets embedded, it vastly reduces where it can move. And increases the DC of the check. So, it is currently grappled by your device, and it did take damage from it.
Alright.
Alright. Anything else in your turn, Bryn?
I can't do anything else. I use steady aim.
Okay. That'll bring us to another town guard. This guard, I believe, is one of them that has a heavy crossbow. Let me see. He does not have it in his inventory. I thought I gave it to him. Well, we're gonna give it to him now. Alright, guard's going to fire off a shot with a heavy crossbow at the dragon.
Get him.
And it's gonna hit and deal some damage. Okay, so he you see the crossbow bolt, it'd probably be Big Tune in particular, and yeah, because it's on that side. So Big Tune you'd see as like one of the guards fires off a crossbow bolt after the dragon. You see it doesn't like get caught anywhere. You see like it impacts, it makes an indentation in part of the side of the Charladyn, being a rather quick moving and heavy bolt itself. But it doesn't stay. In fact, it bounces after making its impact. It kind of bounces off the bolt itself, broken and unusable again, and like falls to the ground. But it did make purchase.
Okay.
Alright, that'll bring us to Spit. Spit, can he see? He could see because of the bright light provided by both Athros and the fire in the center of town.
Yeah. I was worried that actually wasn't going to do anything or help at all.
No. Yeah, it did help. At least for like Spit and I believe Irini, it did help. It provided another light source, so it vastly increased what they could see on that end of the map. He's gonna fire off the second bolt. Which occurs to me I didn't give it to his inventory.
Spit. Money man spit.
Alright.
Would he have advantage on the attack with pack tactics?
I mean, this.
I'm literally trying to remember like everything about
yeah, he does have
our
advantage on that
NPCs.
attack.
Yes, let's go,
And he
Spit.
gets a +2 to the attack roll with his archery fighting style, technically, too.
Fun buddy. This is everything you've trained for. This is who you
Through the eye killer.
21 is gonna hit
Holy shit, Spit.
and do more damage. And it has to make a check to see if it's grappled again. Well, I mean, it's grappled already, but if this one sticks.
Intensifies. Damn, that means I
That
probably
second one is also attached. It attached in like the neck area of the dragon itself. So there are 2 of the 4 bolts are currently attached to it. It has a much shorter flight radius now than it had before. Like they pretty much cut it in half again. I think it's down to 75 feet now instead of the 150. So it's getting attacked. And that's all Spit's gonna do. He's gonna pull out his short bow and like get ready to attack. Get ready to run up and attack, but he's waiting for Arena's move first. That brings to another guard who's going to. Ooh, does he have sight? Line of sight. It would be the one who's also on the other ballista or the cannon. It'll have technically half cover from him, but I think he's going to take the shot. Okay. The con with this new module that I added is it undoes my targeting system every time, which is both a blessing and a curse. Oof, unfortunately, that one is going to miss. As he fires off the cannon, everyone can hear the audible pop as each of these fire off. But Big T, you watch as this really quick-moving, heavy bolt with a cable flies past the front of this dragon before like hitting a building on the other side. But it does not hit the dragon itself. That'll be his turn. It's just a Tilly. Tilly is going to. Not sure what else to do. She's going to. She's going to fire off a ray of frost at the creature. She has line of sight thanks to Athros. And yeah, like from her post way on the end. Let's let this blast of blue energy. Ooh, she has to move close. That should be. That will hit. As the dragon itself gets hit by that blast of cold energy, Big Tune, you rolled decently well on your perception check before. You see that the cold has absolutely no effect on the dragon. It shrugs it off like it literally did nothing at all. That'll bring us to oh no.
We're all connected. We're all connected telepathically, right?
Did you connect to the party too with your last two psionic links, or did you only do the guards around the town?
I would have, but technically speaking, we did not discuss that, so.
But I'm gonna say no. You are not currently
And never mind.
connected. I know we just started combat, and I'm gonna do Ono's turn, but I think after this, because I have an early freaking day tomorrow, we're probably gonna have to stop halfway through a round. I hate doing that. But we'll pick this up next time. But we'll do Ono's turn before the end.
No worries.
I'm sorry, everyone. I know we wanted to get through one full round, but there's so many people.
Yeah.
Body anew. So yeah, I'm gonna rock up my full 30. Bonus action, I'm gonna cast it but not use it. Dragon's Breath. And but I'm setting the damage to electricity. And my main action, I'm going to magic missile this creature. Got a target in there. Magic missile. Pathetic. 3 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's a boot.
You're casting at first level?
Yeah, I don't want to burn anything bigger. I just want to see what's up with it and making sure force damage is doing the bread and butter too. So I just rock a magic missile, bite my hot pepper, and get ready because my cone doesn't make it that far.
Okay. As you fire off your magic missile, you do see that as your bolts of just pure energy hit the side of this dragon, that they do seem to be having the effect that you would want them to. They seem to be doing their full damage.
Okay, cool. I have a weird question.
Yeah.
Weird question. Now, I can upcast magic missile to 2nd level. Now, would that in itself give me the ability to at least use the damage type on my dragon's breath? Because per my scribe, I can change damage types if it has pertaining level. Would you allow that? Because then I would change my dragon's breath to force damage.
Oh, I see. Ooh,
If
that
at all.
is such a good question.
Right? Because technically, it's not that it's a higher level that Dragon's Breath is at a higher level, but why wouldn't it not be like, well, it's not a 3rd level spell that I would have access to. I'm pulling this damage type. It's a lower level spell.
I'm gonna have to think on that one. I'm not 100% sure. I want to see what other people have encountered.
Okay, cool. No worries.
But that's a great question. I don't actually have the answer to it right now. So
Well, then I guess at the end of my turn, yeah, I bonus action prepare Dragon's Breath, and then it just crackles with Mysterious Light as I choose my damage type. Because I can't hit him this round anyways with it, so.
Okay. Yeah, so basically, if you can, you will. If you don't, you won't, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, if I can, force damage. If not, it's still lightning damage. It's not, you know.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'll look into that over the course of this week and see what I find out. But I feel like probably, but I want to see if anybody else has talked about this and see if I'm wrong in thinking that.
Hey, look,
ultimately, it's my decision, but I just want to get some feedback on it. It would make sense, but
totally
I'll let
fair.
you know for next week, since we'll be
No
starting
worries.
at the end of your turn. So.
Appreciate.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for my turn. Move action, bonus action.
Okay.
I scream. I'm excited because at least 2 out of the 3 bolts worked.
Yeah. It is highly restricted right now. It can only move up to, technically its movement is up to 75 feet, and technically it's pretty much restricted to inside inside the town square. So,
Yeah.
but it can grapple check to get its way out of it on its turn, but it does take one of its things that it can do. So, I think that's at the end of its turn, if I'm not mistaken. So, we'll pick it up next time with a long list of freaking NPCs that get to go, and a reading at the end of that. Yeah, I've been literally plotting this for a freaking month and a half, so I'm very excited that we finally get to do it.
Fantastic, man.
And on your first attack, you made somebody dead.
It's freaking R.I.P.
You killed that dude's wife. Isn't that his wife?
No, his wife, her husband's dead. Her husband talked to Athros in the spooky chamber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he gave me a bolt that I completely forgot about and never used.
Nice.
Yeah, he didn't need it. You're fine.
Yeah.
But
Damn. Well,
yeah, no.
rest easy, Tavessa.
It's gonna be a slaughter. Whether or not we're included in that slaughter is up for debate, but I have a feeling that towards the end of the battle, it's gonna be the 5 of us, and then us.
Keep in mind, breath weapons recharge. And with that,
Yeah.
I will